What's going on, everybody? Spunky Nights 91 coming guys another video. Coming at you guys with my Eagles Packers Week 10 preview. So the Eagles are playing Monday Night Football against the Green Bay Packers in Green Bay. According to some of the reports, we may see a little bit of snow in this game. But, right now it's saying roughly about a 20-30% chance of snow. So it's one of those situations where it's like, maybe it will, maybe it won't. If it does snow, I'm not expecting to be too heavy and impact the game too much. But it's damn sure gonna be cold in Green Bay, that's for sure. But rain, sleet, or slow, the Eagles are ready to go. So cold weather don't mean shit, because Philadelphia gets cold weather too. But regardless, Eagles coming off of a bye week, going to the bye week, on a 2-game winning streak, beating the Giants in week 8 before the bye week. Of course, the week before that, they beat the Minnesota Vikings. Now, coming to this bye week, the Eagles have made a couple upgrades to their defense. They brought in Michael Carter III from the New York Jets. They traded for him. They traded for Jaire Alexander, who played for the Green Bay Packers for 7 years and was with the Ravens, but he was with the Ravens when the Eagles traded for him. He's returning to Green Bay to take on his former team, and the cherry on the top, and they traded for Jalen Phillips from the Miami Dolphins to really help a lot with that pass rush. So yeah, these guys, as well as Brandon Graham, who came out of retirement. These guys will be making their debut with the Eagles in Green Bay against the Green Bay Packers. Primetime football, Monday Night Football. Doesn't get much better than that, right? So I'm looking forward to this game. The Green Bay Packers was that team that the Eagles beat. They beat them twice last year. They beat them to start off the season in Brazil. Then they beat them in the playoffs to send them home. So the Packers have had kind of like this little grudge against the Eagles since. The Packers front office were leading the charge to try to get the what they want to call the tush push. I call it the Burley shove or the Philly shove, but they led the charge to try to get rid of it, and they came mighty close. They came pretty damn close. And quite frankly, if we're being honest, it may only be a matter of time before it's banned completely. But for me, that's the most soft crap you could do, man. Because one team is so good at it, it has to go. To me, it's just ridiculous. Like the Detroit Lions head coach Dan Campbell, who the Eagles see very soon next week, but he made it very clear. It's our job to stop it. As the Eagles' opponents, it's our job to stop it. We had to evolve, and find ways to stop it. And that's what I love. The NFL has always been innovative. It's always been innovative. The Eagles don't have a patent on the Philly shove, but of course, because the Eagles are so good at it, nobody else can do it at the same rate of success the Eagles do it. Of course, they want to now try to ban it, even though it's really just a quarterback sneak. We have the O-line and we have the quarterback. Who are capable of successfully doing it 95% of the time. But that's neither here or there. Going to this game here, like I said, Eagles coming off of a 2-game win streak. Let's obviously trying to make it 3 in Green Bay. Jaire Alexander going up against his former team. Of course, like I said, Michael Carter III and Jalen Phillips and BG back with the Eagles. Yeah, this is gonna be a great challenge for our defense going up against a very solid young quarterback in Jordan Love. I have a lot of respect for Jordan Love. I think he's a very good quarterback. A pretty good offense overall by the Green Bay Packers. The defense is led by a familiar foe for the Eagles. Of course, I am talking about Micah Parsons, who got traded from the Dallas Cowboys to the Green Bay Packers, before the season. So, yeah, this is going to be a tough game. I don't think we're going to blow them out. They're not going to blow us out. I think it's going to be a close fight, and I think it's going to be one late in the game. I'm gonna stick with the reverse psychology here because why not? I got the Packers win this game by a score of 31-28. Field goal wins the game in the fourth quarter. Now, obviously, I'm crossing my fingers that the opposite happens, but I'm gonna stick with the reverse psychology. That's what I'm gonna do. But yeah, I don't know if it works or not, but the hell, I'm just gonna stick with it. Obviously, I'm hoping that the Eagles go out there and they get the job done. Now, the key, well, before I go to the keys of victory, let's go let's go over the injury report here. Now, the Eagles did get some bad news here. I was hoping that everybody was gonna be ready to go, fully healthy and ready to go. Coming out of the bye week, but center Cam Jurgens is dealing with a knee injury. He will not be playing this game. Next man up. Next man got to step up. Outside linebacker Nolan Smith dealing with a triceps injury. He was a full participant in practice on Friday. He's questionable. I expect him to play. Cornerback Jacorian Bennett pectoral injury. He was full participant in practice on Friday. I expect him to be available. Center guard Willie Lampkin is dealing with a knee and ankle injury, but he was a full participant in practice. I expect him ready to go. Now here are, when it comes to the Green Bay Packers players, who confirmed to be out will be defensive lineman Lucas Van Ness dealing with a foot injury. He did not practice. He will not be playing. Cornerback Nate Hobbs dealing with a knee injury, did not participate. He will be out. Questionable for the Green Bay Packers. Wide receiver Matthew Golden dealing with a shoulder injury, did not participate. He offensive lineman Zach Tom dealing with a back injury. He was limited in practice. Wide receiver Dontavion Wicks is dealing with a calf injury. He was limited in practice. Wide receiver Savion Williams is dealing with a foot injury. He was limited to practice. So those are the questionable players. Now going to what I was saying, it starts with in the trenches, man. The big guys up front, they're the ones that set the tone for the game. First and foremost, we have to take away the running game of the Green Bay Packers. They have a guy who in my opinion has been one of the more underrated running backs in the league. Even though he's been respected, he has not been put up there in the top when it comes to top running backs. I'm talking about Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs is an absolute freight train of a running back. We have to make sure that this guy right here does not run us over like a steamroll. That we that we keep him contained. So big guys up front. Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, of course, BG back, Jalen Phillips. Moro Jomo, all those guys, man. They have to be ready to play, and they have to be be ready to stop this run. Obviously linebackers Zach Bond, Trotter, Jr., Nolan Smith, all those guys, they have to be ready because Jacobs is a absolute beast of a running back. He's a freight train. We have to take away the running game. We have to make Jordan Love uncomfortable in that pocket. So the pass rush has got to be there. I'm looking forward to seeing BG and Jalen Phillips. I forgot to say I forgot to say Hunt. I forgot to say him as well. Campbell, those guys. Yeah. So it's going to be a challenge, man. But the pass rush has got to get there. The pass rush looked much better in the Giants game. It needs to get better and better as weeks go on. That's why we brought BG back. That's why we brought Jalen Phillips here. We got to get to Jordan Love, and we got to get to Jordan Love very early and often in this game. Make him uncomfortable in that pocket. Get that pass rush going. Get his face all game. When it comes to his wide receivers, Romeo Doubs is a guy that can stretch the field. He can absolutely stretch the field. Christian Watson is one of those underrated guys in the league that he's great. He's great in the when it comes to being a possession receiver. He's also a guy that can blow the top off your defense if you allow him to do so. So he got two very good weapons there. The Dontavion Wicks, like I said, is dealing with the injury, but I expect him to play. I'm also expecting Savion Williams to play as well. So yeah, we got like I said, we got to take away the running game, and we gotta get the pressure on Jordan Love early, and we have to keep the pressure on him throughout the game. So it's gonna be a challenge, but I feel very confident that the Eagles can very much rise to the challenge. Now offensively, like I said, it starts with the big man up front. Cam Jurgens, I'm not gonna sit here and even BS you guys. Cam Jurgens not playing is definitely a big loss for us, no doubt about it. But I don't sit there, and say, oh my God, one player is gonna make that big of a difference. Yeah, it's gonna suck, but next man has to step up. That's what these guys are paid for. They're at their millionaire athletes. They have, next guy had to step up and be ready. So first and foremost, the running game really was working for us quite a bit in the Giants game. It worked very well for us. We gotta continue to build off of that, and keep the running game going. Saquon Barkley, Tank Bigsby, who what a great trade that was by Howard Roseman. Great trade. I want to see both of those guys being feature heavy in this offense in this game. Sorry, AJ Dillon, the former Green Bay Packer, but I think Tank Bigsby he's taking your role. I'm sorry, he has, and we gotta continue to ride that momentum with Tank Bigsby. So get that running game going early. That will open up things in the passing game. It will open up things for the play action pass. Of course, once you get the running game going and the Packers defense has to respect the run game, you could then pick them apart in the middle of the field to Dallas Goedert, Grant Calcaterra, and of course continue to get those guys at wide receiver. AJ Brown, who is going to be back in this game, Devontae Smith, Johan Dotson, who had an amazing deep catch from Jalen Hurts against the Giants. Get those guys involved, get them involved early, but most importantly, protect the ball. Don't turn the ball over. Protect Jalen Hurts. Micah Parsons has been doing a whole lot of talking this week. Even though he didn't do much of anything against the Eagles when he was with the Cowboys, but he's been doing a whole lot of talking. Protect the quarterback. Let's make sure that the pass rush of the Packers do not disrupt this game. So I am picking the Packers to win, but I'm doing it. I'm doing it like a tongue-in-cheek type of thing. The reverse psychology. I say 31-28 Packers. But obviously, I'm hoping for the opposite. But all three sides of the ball have to do their job. Offense, special teams, defense. Everybody has to come ready to play. Bright lights in Green Bay on Monday night. Returning for the bye week. If the Eagles are going to make a run to defend their throne this year, it has to begin right here in Green Bay. Right in Green Bay. If they're going to make a serious run to defend that throne, as defending Super Bowl champions, it starts now. That's why Howard Rose went out there and loaded up on the defense to help with some of the issues we had on defense. He knew we had issues at corner. He knew we had issues on the D line. So he went and addressed those positions. We will see, obviously, how much of an impact those moves make. Fingers crossed they make a huge impact, and the Eagles they go out there, take care of business, and continue this winning thing. Because right now the Eagles are in a good position. They're sitting at 6-2. Right now they have a very comfortable lead in the NFC East, but they gotta continue to handle their business and win week in, week out. Because as we know in the NFL, anything can change quickly. So the Eagles have to continue to pile on the W's and continue to keep the pressure on everybody else in the NFC East. Well, hell, the NFC, because right now the Eagles are currently sitting as the #1 seed in the NFC. And, the Packers will love nothing more than to beat us and put themselves back in that position. So this is huge, man. Like, this stretch coming up, the Packers and then the Lions after that, it's huge. Because those are two teams who are right there with us when it comes to that #1 seed. So Eagles got to just continue to handle their business week in and week out. If we do that, we're fine. But, yeah, like I said, man, starts with the big guys up front, offensive line, defensive line. They set the tone for the game. Everybody has to do their job. We got to protect that ball. We got to be efficient on offense, and I don't mean just sell for no damn field goals. We need to score often and consistently throughout the game. But there you have it, man. I don't really have a whole lot more to say about this game. I'm gonna sit back and enjoy the this Sunday afternoon stress-free football, and then tomorrow night watching hopefully the Eagles get that W against these Green Bay Packers. But I'm gonna go ahead and end this thing now. As always, go Birds. Spunky Nights 91 is out of here. Fly, go fly. Peace.
That's all, folks.